I'm extremely sorry about the background, but I can't help it. So, okay. So we'll be doing variables affecting obedience, including proximity, location, and uniform as investigated by Milgram. It was a investigation or an experiment done by Milgram in 1963. And yes, you do need to remember the years because there were variation studies, there were his birth years, so I get all of those confused. So it's better if you also, was he born in 1963? No, he wasn't. This is the experiment year. Just make sure you write it. Okay. Participants. There were 40 random male volunteers. Okay. Next, we have aim. The aim was to observe whether people would obey a figurative authority when told to harm another person. In today's world, people would, honestly. Okay. Next, we have procedure. Procedure was a person was given the role of a teacher and a confederate. As we all know, a confederate means an actor. So they were aware of the fact that it's an experiment, not just an investigation, like a harmless one. Sorry, they did know it was a harmless one, whereas the participants, the real ones, didn't know that. Okay, never mind. A participant given the role of a teacher and a confederate given the role of a learner. This was decided through random allocation. Participant had to ask the confederate a series of questions. Whenever the confederate got the answer wrong, the participant had to give them a shock, even when no answer was given. Okay, you might be feeling like I'm narrating just the notes only, but I believe it's a very good way of doing revision since I'm self-studying, and if you're self-studying too, it's good to have someone who's body doubling with you. I don't know, it's just an ADHD thing. So I mean, I'm learning, I'm revising, so it's really engaging. So never mind that. Okay, next we have whenever the confederate got the answer wrong, the participant had to give him an electric shock. Even when no answer was given, the electric shocks incremented, oh my god, by 15 volts at a time, ranging from 30 volts to 450 volts, where 330 volts was marked as lethal. Okay, just read these. Okay, there were 4 prods. What do you mean by prods? Prods are like commands, or let's say cues. Prods can mean cues or common commands or whatever. Okay. Now what were the findings? The findings were all participants went up to 300 volts and 65% went up to 450 volts. No participants stopped below 300 volts, whilst only 12.5% stopped at 300 volts, showing that the vast majority of participants were prepared to give lethal electric shocks to a confederate. Factors affecting obedience: proximity. Proximity means distance. Location, uniform. So, as we all know, the participants obeyed more when the experiment was in the room, and the obedience levels were at 62.5%, and this was reduced to 40% when the experimental left the room and were giving their commands. So it went from 62.5% to 30%. So it went from 62.5 to 40% to 30%. Then we have location. The participants obeyed more when when the study was conducted at a prestigious college, but the obedience levels dropped when they were in a rundown telephone sorry when they were in a rundown operation center or something. I forgot, but I'm learning. So okay, uniform. Participants obeyed more when experiments were a lab coat, but when they were a normal clothes, the obedience level decreased. Okay, here we have evaluation. These are very good points. I'm just gonna debriefing. Real life complications, high intervalidity, highly reapplicable, and external validity. You can take a screenshot if you'd like. Now let's go to the next page. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, weaknesses, ethical issues, because there was deception and no informed consent. There was psychological harm inflicted upon the participants as well, and it also raises a socially sensitive issue. It also lacks internal validity. It also lacks ecological validity. So do remember these points. Also this one. This is a very good point. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. 5 points. Just remember that there were 5 points, and it will be easier for you to write during your exams. Okay, so that would be all for our variables affecting obedience. Thanks for watching.